We're getting a lot of different headlines here. What's number one standing out to you? Obviously, it's significant that they're saying, yes, we can deliver those 50,000 cars this year.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing to me is that there isn't a big drop-off in the Model S sales. Their sedan that's been on the market for 3 years. I think everybody has been looking to see, you know, this car is going to sort of saturate the market, and there's only so many wealthy people that can afford this thing. And so for that number to stay up pretty high with the Model X coming in seems to be, you know, what I would think is pleasing investors.
All right, Cory, what do you think?
It was an interesting quarter for Tesla. It's, you know, the range of deliveries for the year is a thing they've been setting up all along. They said at one point it would be 55,000. Then they said it would be 50 to 55,000. So the midpoint being 52,500. Now they're saying it's going to be 50,000 to 52,000. So the mid-range is falling on that number. But I think it's also interesting to sort of see what they're doing in terms of delivery. So in the quarter, they delivered the most cars they've ever made before, of 11,603. But that's not the most by a long shot. If you look at that 11,603 number in terms of the Model S sales, that's a good number. It's the biggest number they've ever put up, but it's only less than 100 more cars than they delivered in the previous quarter. It is a 1% increase over the previous quarter. So that is the lowest increase sequentially that this company has seen in at least 7 quarters.
So, Ashlee, what do you make of some of these things that Cory is pointing out here? That what they're saying they can deliver is gradually going down.
Yeah, well, I mean, the numbers, Cory's totally right. They've moved the target around a bunch of times. I mean, I think what's clear...
Well, they moved it down, not around, right?
Right.
Around could be up or down. They've only moved it in one direction.
No, absolutely. And, you know, I mean, what you see is a company that, I mean, it's been struggling to get this manufacturing operation down for a long time now. We see with the Model X, the new car that just came out, they put out 6 at the launch, and we haven't heard much at all about how many are going to be delivered per week. They still have these supply chain issues. They've had to start building the middle row of seats in-house because they couldn't find a good supplier for that. And that's something, I saw that middle row of seats in 2012, so this is an issue they've had a long time to fix. And they just don't seem to be able to fix some of these core things that are stopping them from being able to pump out cars.
And looking at the Model X there, you know, again, as Ashlee said, they can't get the second row, enough of them delivered, so they're just going to make them themselves.
Elon apparently hurt his head or smacked his head when he was coming out of the back of the car, too, trying to show. Now, he's a very tall guy. I have great sympathy for him in that respect. You know, it was really, the other thing that really jumped out at me with these results today. So here they are making the most amount of cars that they've ever made out of this factory. So the way factories and gross margins work is the more you make, the more efficient things should become, and therefore the better the gross margin should be. But what we've seen, and then add to that the most expensive component of the car, the battery, they pay in dollars to acquire this thing that's made in yen, so the gross margin should be getting better. But on a year-over-year basis, you saw gross margins fall to 25% compared to 30% the previous year. You've seen sequential gross margins decline the busier the factory is. And that shouldn't be going on with a busy factory. It should be just the opposite, where the more you produce, the more efficient you should be producing it. They're losing money on every sale, and they're not making it up on volume.
So what about the Model 3? Ashlee, they've now said the Model 3 will be revealed in March of next year. A lot of people are saying, you know, this will be the key. This will determine whether Tesla can become a mainstream car manufacturer.
Yeah, at its core, I mean, that's true. That will be the first time we see, can this be a mainstream car maker? They hope to price it around $35,000. We're supposed to see what it looks like in March. The big problem, of course, is that they're saying it'll be delivered in 2017, and Tesla's track record of delivering products on time is pretty abysmal. And, you know, they need to get this car out quickly to really address a lot of the things Cory's saying. They have to keep that factory humming, sure they can act like a proper car maker, and they need the volume to back that up. And so huge questions, but I mean, I think people really are excited about the Model 3.
And new CFO Jason Wheeler, Ashlee, given how intimately you know the company, any comments on this hire? Do you know him?
I don't know him, but I mean, it's a big deal for Deepak to be leaving Tesla. He's been one of Elon's most trusted hands for a very, very long time. Tesla's been near bankruptcy several times, and he's had to suffer through that and sort of take Tesla to these better days. And so it's a big loss for Elon. He has a pretty small group of confidants, and Deepak was definitely in that group.